The first time I saw a new GDUB, I was in a very healthy mood. G6 is forcing the merchants to pay. The eyesight is poor. The first time I saw a man who was working in a factory, I was a little surprised. Not only did the government not want to go. The first time I saw a video of a woman who was pregnant with a child, I was surprised to see her. G3 questions about the war debt. The battle was not fought again. This season, actually. GDUB is a bit embarrassed about the location of the mine hall. The first was a stroke. The average attendance rate for the entire season was not high. The video was shot in the early hours of the morning. GDUB is not a winner, and it is not a winner. Of course, some have also pointed out. This is the first time I've seen this. The team's strengths are not very different from those of the miners. The government has been trying to get the government to pay the bills. This is a very important step. The government has been trying to get the money back. The video was shot on the internet and was released on YouTube. This is a good idea. Recent trade comments on GDUB. The story is about a young boy. He changed the letters of the song. The NPD claims are very clear. Of course, trying to position. The first is the fact that the team is not in the same position. It's like a lightning strike before a day's lightning strike. What does GDUB mean to mines? It could happen before the team's mind explodes. Is it a trade? Today, let's have a little chat. The union is the most unexisting. One of the two families. JDUB has only played 4 seasons. The honor of JDUB is now much less than it is today. Early in the food bird season, he was a bit of a jerk, and he was a bit of a jerk. Key and Mary and others. The new show is a new show. Last season was also his best year to win the title. He scored 21.6 points per game, 5.3 hard boards, 5.1 assistants, 1.61 floors above. The election was held in the first 3 houses of the parliament. One of the votes cast by the Alliance on Defense Issues. The final game, on the way to the doghouse in the mine hall. JDUB also handles more than one win. His figures came to 21.4 points, 5.5 hard boards. Stair 8 is assisting. The second highest score in the world is assistant number 2. The third is hardcore. The number of starts. The number of punches and penalty shoots is 3. The second is in the middle. The war is coming to an end. He shoots 24 plus 5 plus 7. Game 4 against Grey Wolf. He was angry and cut 34 points. The final of the slide. Even the SDA failed in 7 major wars. I'm not sure if I'm going to get a drink. But if we do know. Game 5 Battle of the Jungle. The first is the JDUB, cutting down 40 points. We are a team. The biggest project to achieve a standing ovation. It's time to strike out. I'm not sure if this is true. He is a South Korean gold digger. Mary is more than 2 or 3 years old. 2 years of Wiggins. The second year of Middleton. Even the Holy of Holies. The most incredible thing is that he won the race this year. The first is the battle of the sexes. The first stage of the race. He suffered a stroke in his right arm. The wound is torn. But he was not overly hurt. I'm just silent in my wrist, lifting the protective gear. After a match with injury. This is why we are here. The state of his offensive. Why not stay stable during the regular races? The first time I saw the video was in the video. This is the summer of 2025. He was officially operated on. The first time I saw a woman in the hospital, I was in a coma. This is why. Last summer, Retin is next to him. The top 239 million is always around 5 years. Last season of the contract. This is the 30th to 31st season. His net worth is expected to be close to $55 million. However, the storm is not measured. The company is in the midst of a boom. Zeta. The season has been marred by injuries and losses. He is a season. Just in the regular races. 33 games. The last match was only 5. The contest is free. The other side of the field, 17.1 points. 4.6 board. 5.5 the main attack. The race is over. He also scored 14.4 points. The game is a game of chance. The hand is cut and the hand is cut. The value of the reference is not great. What is more important is that, as mentioned earlier, in most cases, he is not here. The loss of the extreme military power of Retin. It doesn't seem to be big. The historic race. Set up without a fight. Retin's fighting skills remain the first in the league. The contest is open to all. The first of the league. The game is a game of 3 and 5. The Reddings are here. He is a great writer. The horse race is won. I'm going to try again. I'm going to be back and I'm going to be sure. The value of Zeta. I'm not sure. He is not mean to Retin. He is the ball on the defensive end. The number of people who are affected by this, the only monks in the country who have ever seen the benefits of Carol, the only one that is decomposed. The winds are very strong. The players who lost less, the agency, his hardware skills. The first is to be stronger. Everyone outside the SGA. LB is on the show. I'm not going to talk about it. ZUp is a great place to start. The limit of the ret. I agree with that again. ZUp confirms. Why do you think this is so? The report is not a big deal. The main reasons. The government has also been trying to get rid of the government's corruption. The second is. The first is that the government is not going to take any action. The JDub is already well known for the long enough absence of the band. How to play without him. And of course, there is a third most important point. This is the JDub attack from the attack side. The alternative is slightly higher. This is the first time that the game has been played in the country. The number of people in the state of Repenon who can hold the ball increase. The attack by JDub is no longer as irreplaceable as last year. He is still good at helping data. The reality is that the actual scene is essentially a test of a single point. The first is that the game is not about the game, but about the game. The best skill is the one that tests players. The first time I saw a video of a single-shot attack box, I jumped. The name of the player is Remove. The attack was carried out by the Taliban and the Taliban. The role of AJ or Maker is similar to that of the actor. I'm not sure what I'm doing. The level is just not as high without it. So even if there is no JDub, as long as the core of the attack of Le Pen is still in place, the SDA will continue to fight. The first is that the video is not a good one. The first is the buddy. The team is just one less SGA player to put pressure on a single offense, when others can really get to the top. The report also highlights the importance of the role of the government in the fight against corruption. But it is worth paying attention. I'm also adding a limiting stage here. JDub's newest 4-year transmission capabilities. He has the opportunity to become a core player like Harden. Technically speaking, the two have similarities on many levels. The players are all heavyweight players of the same height. The average person is about third and has good physical ability. The first is the breakthrough of the attack. The only thing that is more powerful is the Harden position. The first is that the JDub is a more powerful attack. I'm not sure. The two have a good base for the project. Harden's third strike was 37.0% during the mine strike. JDub has been praising the number so far. The number of people who are suffering from depression is 37.4%. The two are the core competitors of the competition. The first is that the body is not strong enough to make a difference. What is more important is that. The first is that the technology is similar. The two sides also had a slight resemblance in their internal status. Many people think JDub is the kind of thing. It seems important, but it seems like a minor player. I'm going to see Harden again. The mine was stopped in the same year. He is the number 3 person in KD and rules. The team asked for more. It takes a long time to play the 6th person. However, from the point of view of the stadium, he is the commander of a more stable control area than the norm. The first is that the people of the country are not as well known as the people of the country. The first is that the country is not a country. Harden is also a member of the. It seems important, but it seems like a minor player. Harden's decision to leave. The government has been trying to stop the government from managing the $5 million payroll that it has been receiving since the beginning of the year. Now JDub has signed the gold record. But what's interesting is that he also may have left the team because of his salary. The last year's repair, Chad's Thunderstop and Gajdub, the two countries signed a gold-plated contract. The contract for the latter two will be from 2627 level. The next race is about to begin. So the next race is SGA's salary of $40.8 million. The number of Chades is 41.5 million. The three people together took over 123 million square feet of space. If you add Harden Stan, nearly 30 million team options, towards team choice of 18 million. The first is the innocent collective wage. The number of people who have been infected with HIV is now over the cellular cap. The next year, the race was 27.28. SGA's 427 million contracts are starting to come into existence. The 3-point salary combine. More than 150 million people have been killed. We know. Almost 2 years. Raystop is the healthiest team in the payroll structure. JDub and Chad are still in the payroll contract. The team has already won the title. The right to vote in the elections. The most of the coalition. The government has also been trying to get a job. I'm not sure what I'm doing. The team is not going to be able to get a job. But from the next level, they're going to blow up their inevitable salaries. If this level can be successful, it will be a challenge. So, what is the best way to discuss this? After all, they are profitable. I'm always trying to get over everything. The first is that the number of people who are in the country is not enough. They fear they will have to face the rules at the next level. The first is the rescue of the workers. The next year, with a pay rise, I'm not sure what I'm saying. The first is that the media is not interested in the issue of the J-Dub. The answer seems obvious. The truth is too. In recent days, there are many trade comments about J-Dub. The first is the NBA 3D. The news of the deal was revealed by ESPN. This is why Retton sends out J-Dubs. And badge from the Blue Network. The three wheels are also organized. The power and the power. And badge is definitely not like J-Dub. But it is not ignorant. The third-inch projection. Protecting the background blue board. The first time I saw the video was in the video. I'm not sure. NBadge is the first glassment organization left in the world, but in 425 these 2 years, it has only missed 6 rounds in the regular season. This year, it has played only 52 games. But it is important to consider. Blue Network is in ruins. The first time I saw the video was in the video. Playing too much. The first time I saw a woman in the country, I was in a coma. So, what is the meaning of this? This is a very important part of the healthcare system. The NBadge may hesitate to do J-Dub. If you have a change of heart, the first is the triple wheel. I don't think that is true. This exchange is absolutely impossible. There is a bigger picture. The report is based on the C-Dry report. The first is that the rocket is a multiple pair rocket. The first is that the children are not allowed to go to school. The giant warrior. The first is to change the subtitles. The first is the following. The name of the city is Retton. People who can give. The first is J-Dub or CAD. CAD type is special. The world is not a place for change. We haven't discussed this yet. But said J-Dub is on the wheel. Changing subtitles is not a mechanism to talk. We know. The number of people who are in the country is very low. The size of the wins are one of them. The other is the excess. Transition to SDA issues. If you can upgrade J-Dub to its drag monster, they will be adding almost all the shortcuts. SDA adds subtitles to the 3 main CAD phrases. The 3 most powerful sentences in the series are probably the most powerful. And none of them, if the deal is true, they will be called again. The only team that is stronger than the one that is stronger. I just don't know. This is a very important step in the right direction. The first time I saw the video was in the video, and I was surprised to see the video. The deal is not a success. The message was sent out. The first is that the product is not for sale. He happened to be gathered again. The first is the greatest day of the year. The number of people who are suffering from depression. In this regard, the reason for this is different. But his results, it is possible that Harden is the same. The first time I saw the video was in the video. Westerners are desperate to win. Maybe we can be more firm. The team considered him an ugly horse. The decision to reinforce. But what about that? I'm going to leave Leiting for J-Dub. It's not necessarily bad. If you don't leave Leiting, Harden may have been the 6th of 3 in the family for a while. The big fox came to the rocket. The first book in the series is a 2-part story. The game is free to play. The first is to raise the barrier to the right. The country is a major player in the development of the country. This is a non-public body. The game is a good one. What is the meaning of this? He said that there is indeed a situation of oppression in Leiting. What is it? If you change a team to grow up, he is also a former president of the Republican Party. We can expect it. This is the way. The first is the cash in the bank version of the report. The first is the Harden movement. The ball is nuclear. At least he has a dimension of his hand already borrowed. The first is that the government is not going to regret it. So we can try to get out of the literacy zone. We're trying to do something bigger. West Bengal is in the hands of a child soldier. The poor and the evil are not mentioned. But Jumers is the only one among them. Cash in the bank. Leiting landscape is quite common. The first is the sweetie. The best of the best are considered not bad. The first is the simplified defense of the nation. Maybe it was JW. He is also a member of the LGBTQ community. I hope this good man has the right to own a house. A career that is more remarkable.